Hello there, Renata's here, transformational coach, clarity breathwork facilitator. And what came to my attention that when I work with people, most of us don't know what's wrong with us or how to deal with it. And it was never taught to us because for generation to generation we've been living through survival. So anytime when crisis hit, we ask what to do. We're uncomfortable. What's my next step? How do I survive through it? And basically you constantly getting yourself out of a mess, of an uncomfortable situation from one time to another time, constantly in a survival mode. And this is very ancestral because we were trained to survive. We were trained to just be alive or just keep our heads above water. So meaning if I am safe and I'm fed, I'm okay. And we're in a situation where most of us are safe and fed, or we're fortunate enough to be safe and fed, but the survival mind is still there. And so this crisis or this constant outlook, who's out there to get me or what's out there to get me is constantly here. Or the next step is, if you're lucky, you ask, am I happy? And then if you're not happy, then it's also something that's getting you. How do I survive that? The crisis of depression or the crisis or of anxiety. In both situations, you are constantly in your mind frame of survival. But what happens is that nobody asking questions, or yes, we are asking questions, but not a lot of us are asking questions. You're seeking help, it's not comfortable. In Western world, we want solutions right away. So if I'm not comfortable, take the pill, be comfortable. Because our mind, there's that ancient knowing or that ancient desire or this instinctual feeling that I am comfortable, I am happy, I am whole. But how to get there from uncomfortable to comfortable? We're kind of clueless. And we don't ask questions. We don't ask enough questions what's happening and why am I feeling this way and what brought it and how can I change that. We just want the solution right away. So investigation starts when you are kind of done it for too long. You've been chasing your own tail for too long and you come to this realization, this is not working. And once you know that instant solution orientation is not working, meaning the pill or alcohol or distraction or another addictive behavior is not working, like running away from it and substituting one feeling with another feeling, because they continue coming back to the same thing, right? Then you start asking, what is really happening here? It's like if you have a device at home that is broken, right? And you still want it to work. So sometimes you can glue things together or tie things together or let's say this door that doesn't close, right? So, but if you push it hard enough, it will shut. And you can continue only that many times. And then eventually it won't shut anymore because the hinge or whatever was holding it together fell apart completely. Because it needs to be taken apart and fixed properly, right? Same thing with all of you. With all of the way human is designed, things needs to be taken apart and put together again, and the core of the issue needs to be corrected and reinstalled back together, like reassembling yourself, right? Same thing with your car. You can drive on your spare tire for that long, right? Eventually, you need to actually install the proper tire or fix the tire that's been taken off and fix the hole that's in it, right? same thing with you as a human. You take things apart and put them together. The thing is that not a lot of us know how to take ourselves apart, or even what to do with that. And we don't know even what we consist of, like what are the parts that this human is consist of. All we know is like, this is my physical existence, and this is pain, physical or emotional, and it needs to be taken care of right away. Let's numb it. I don't want to be in it. But if you look closely, you are consisting or many different parts, right? So the medical school or the doctors, they know to go inside the body and take all those organs apart, and they know how they're all connected and how those organs support each other and how one flows into the other. And same thing with human, right? And the parts that the most important parts the human have, like first of all is this physical body, right? So the doctors know about the physical body. And then the next layer is the emotional body. It's your feelings. And the next layer, it's your mental body. It's your thoughts, right? So you can see already it's like 3 layers of something. And then there's 2 more layers that we're not very much familiar with. It's your memory body. It means everything that you were before, everything that you're now, and everything that you're going to be. And then the next layer is the spiritual body, or the witness, or the God body. So it's the one that knows about all those 4 bodies and can see how they operate from one to another, how the mind operates, and how the feelings operate, and how the physical body operates, and how the memory is involved in here. So every situation that you encounter in your life, every crisis, it operates on those 4 or 5 levels, bodies, or more, but those are the ones that are more kind of that are easy to understand and easy to comprehend, and kind of witness them and operate through them. So anytime when people right now, I mean during the crisis of COVID, people experiencing more anxiety and depression. So depression, you kind of bring it into the feeling, because you're feeling blah, not motivated, life is not interesting, or sadness, right? Those are emotions. Or when you get into this anxiety, and it's the mind constant alert. So it's either not interested in life completely, or constantly on guard. So the mind kind of, how can I guard myself? What's the next step? And the mind can come up with all kinds of ideas to just keep you on alert. And if those 2 have not been addressed, then it goes deeper into the physical body, and then it's manifestation of physical symptoms. But those 2 or 3 levels, they're kind of navigating through the memory body. And something have happened before to trigger your thoughts, to trigger your emotion, and to trigger the physical. Now, in order to be aware what's happening through this memory, through this mental, and through this emotional and physical, you need to be witnessing all of them, getting to know what really happened here. How did I get here? Now you're taking things apart. Now you can start asking questions. And it's a much deeper layers and opportunities here to find things are. Now you're kind of becoming in charge. Now you're kind of walking away from the victim and taking things into your hands. So even when you're finally taking everything apart and you can see, okay, here's the memory body, this is how I got here. So what are the steps where did it start from? And now you can see the core issue. Okay, this is the event that happened in my life. It could be a great breakup. It could be catastrophe. It can be anything that the body went through on all 5 levels. And then you made the decision at that moment, like life is not safe, or I will never love again, or I'll be broke forever, or this world is not safe. So anything, any event that happened at that moment, you kind of concluded yourself that this is it, and I need to put my guard on, whether constantly thinking, checking if I'm safe, or feeling this not connected anymore to life. Like it's, I don't want to bother even with life, kind of digging your hole. It's like quiet suicide, that's what it is. Or, then it goes into the physical, right? And then it's basically you're in pain. So, knowing that you made the decision at that time, it's a big one. A big one because you know that by this moment that have happened, could have been an event that lasted maybe a second. It may be an event that lasted for a while, for a year or two or whatever. But the decision you made, it took you a split second to make this decision. And it can take a split second to reverse this decision. So just like you made the decision, this world is not safe. Just like you make the decision, I don't want to bother anymore. Just like you make the decision, it's not worth it. You can totally reverse it, and you can bring yourself back to life, step by step by step. So now when I shared all that, I invite you to kind of go backwards, connect to all of your bodies, and see what kind of contracts, what kind of decisions you have made that you're still carrying to protect you and to keep you safe from not living your life fully and completely. Whether it's through emotion or thoughts, what kind of decision have you made that keeping you away from living your life fully and completely? And see how you can reverse those. Hope that was helpful. Love and light.